fled to darkness.
Yeah, so Voices is a song I wrote about living with specifically generalized anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. Oftentimes when you're, dealing with these conditions, your brain will be, feeding you thoughts and feelings and ideas that may not necessarily be all that accurate, if that makes sense. It can be very difficult to differentiate between what your brain is telling you to think and feel and like what you actually think and feel. And it's like a battleground in your own head, this constant back and forth, and it can severely impact your decision making and your ability to think rationally about things. It's something that's cost me relationships, friendships, career opportunities, all sorts of stuff, really. And it's something that can be really difficult to cope with on a day-to-day basis. It's really invasive in your life. But I also wanted to talk about something that's a little lesser known thing that I deal with as well, called trichotillomania. And it's a fairly rare disorder. It's definitely come to light more in the past 5 to 10 years or so, but I've only ever really met one person that also deals with it. But it's basically an offshoot of OCD that causes like an overwhelming compulsion to pick at your own hair, and oftentimes your like skin and nails and stuff too, and ultimately you yank your own hair out, and it can be extremely painful. It's very damaging to your scalp and your hair, like all the way up to the root, and it can be really embarrassing. I remember in middle school I would have bald patches all over my head, and it got to the point where it was so bad that the administration allowed me to wear a hat in school, which that was dope. But as I got older, it kind of progressed further into like I would pick at my body hair, facial hair. There were times where I would have literally no eyelashes, and it's something that I still struggle with a lot. But if there's one person watching this that can relate to that and feel a little more normal or a little more comfortable with themselves, like, that's fantastic. That's why I wanted to talk about it. But that's basically what Voices is about.